And finally, Cyber Skull Media has come back to the internet. What is up, Cyber Skull Mafia? It's your boy Thundarius, back at you with another video. What is today? Today is it's Thursday, April 27th, and you know what that day is, right? It's NFL Draft Day! Got the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs NFL Draft hat, because you know, we gotta rep our squad. Your boy Thundy is headed down to Kansas City, Missouri right now. I am taking off, I'm hitting the road. Should be a blast. We'll see what kind of footage we get, what kind of video we can put together. I couldn't pass up this opportunity. I had to go down. I had to go see it in person. The next time that I check back in with you guys, we will be in Kansas City. We'll see you on the flip side. That was terrible, but you know what? We're leaving it in.
That is right. I went to the 2023 NFL Draft in Kansas City, and all I got was this wildly overpriced necklace. Well, that and a ton of footage and some fantastic memories that will stay with me forever. In spite of my medical issues, I drove 2.5 hours to Kansas City to meet up with some friends and see how this was gonna play out. I only attended day 1 and a solid part of day 2, so without further ado, I'll stop stretching this out. Let's hop into one of the greatest cities in the world.
All right, so we made it. We are here. We are in Kansas City. We are in a parking garage like a 16 minutes walk away. There's nowhere close to park for this event. We're gonna go take a walk. It's almost 2 o'clock. There's appearances by different Chiefs players all through the day today, maybe tomorrow. Jamaal Charles is out here at 2 to 3. So my goal is to get his autograph because he is one of my top 5 favorite Chiefs of all time. And it would just thrill me to get his autograph. So let's take a walk.
That walk felt way longer than it was. But with someone who has my condition and sedentary lifestyle, it was quite the journey. Up hills, down hills, across lanes of traffic, but at least there were people I was walking with, so it made it a bit easier. Speaking of making things easier, it was a nice overcast day that day, so I didn't have to overdo it with the 100 SPF sunblock, because my ginger ass burns. I walked down the hill, went through the entryway, and started looking around. There were several activities for both kids and adults to do, from all sorts of different football skills challenges and interactive exhibits to a wide assortment of food vendors, and of course, extremely overpriced beverages. Thank you, NFL. From buying any sort of merchandise that you could imagine, to taking a visit over to the Crown Royal booth for a free koozie and a drink, to Bud Light trivia, to all sorts of signed memorabilia, and like I said, tons of things to eat. There was something for everyone, and about the only thing you couldn't get is a soda pop outside of Pepsi and Starry. You had to try to be bored at this thing with how much there was to do. It was absolutely incredible. Now, did I get that autograph from Jamaal Charles that I so badly wanted? No, I did not. Apparently, he was set up at the Little Caesars booth doing skills challenges, and he wasn't signing anything, so womp womp. I did hear that later he may have been at the autograph booth, but at that time, I was already down front, so I wasn't leaving or going anywhere. However, we did lock eyes. And I don't care how that makes me sound, because somewhere in Jamaal Charles' subconscious, he knows I exist. But seriously, if Jamaal Charles ever sees this, although I doubt he will, I would love an autograph to add to my collection. And although I may not have gotten Jamaal's, I did get an autograph that night, but more on that later. Now, like I said, I only attended day 1 and 2, so I had to plan efficiently so that I could get all the content I wanted and see everything that I wanted to see. There were several things that you could stand in line for. Day 1, my entire goal was to get a lay of the land, see everything that there was to do, and then make my way down front to snag a good spot for the draft. After checking out everything that there was to offer, I finally made my way past the memorial and down into the main area. I came around the corner and bam! There was the stage. There were tons of people, and I got even more excited. I passed the Lombardi photo op, walked down the stairs, and made my way over to the Chiefs Kingdom experience. where there just happened to be something happening. And the KC Wolf, well, he was up on top of the bus shooting people with a t-shirt cannon. Following that, I made my way down to the first barrier, thinking this was as close as I was going to get, and I began to take it all in. Until I overheard one of the event staff tell some of the other people that if they walked over to the stairs and took them down to the street, we could walk clear down to the front because that was all general admission except for underneath the actual roof and where they had actual seating. Everything behind that closed-in area we could stand in until it was at max capacity. You had to have a special invite or a high-dollar ticket to get underneath there. So of course, that's where I went, and on the way there, spotted this awesome Pacheco jersey. I've seen these online before, but I've never seen it in person, so it was quite hilarious. You rock, guy who I never met. I had arrived. I ended up making my way as close as I could get in general admission, right behind one or two people from the barrier all evening. However, it was far from evening at this point in time. It was like 3:30 p.m. and the draft didn't start till 7. I didn't think I was gonna get as close as I got, so I didn't plan ahead before I walked down there. And I didn't want to lose my spot by leaving and filling up my water bottle that I purchased specifically for this event. All I had was this tiny bottle of Gatorade, and it had to get me from then until the end of the draft. Let's just say decisions were made, some good, some not so good. I stood in that spot until the end of the night. Now, I did buy some cheap knee braces, and those definitely helped me more than I probably realized, as my knees suck. I was on my feet from 2 p.m. till at least 11:30 p.m. when I got back to my truck that evening. My neurologist would be pissed. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to get the experience and the content, no matter if you got a tumor on your spine or not. Anyways, back to the clips. I was so close. I gotta watch a lot of the setup. I gotta watch the hosts hype up the crowd. I gotta watch all the people in wild ass costumes. It felt like Comic-Con for NFL nerds. I ended up having a direct line of sight to the podium the entire evening. I ended up right in front of one of the cameramen most of the evening. I got up on the screens that were there at the event multiple times that evening, and I may have even gotten on the national broadcast in the crowd, I'm not sure. They had David Koechner and Rob Riggle film a special message for the fans, which was really cool. The graphics were well done, and the Chiefs love for the kingdom at this draft was absolutely high. It was so high, people in the crowd were complaining. They're like, hey, this is the NFL draft, not a Kansas City Chiefs event. Well, for those of you who were saying that, I got a few words for you.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
I'm pretty sure this was the first Super Bowl champion to ever host an NFL draft, so kind of a big deal, kind of unprecedented. It's gonna happen. Finally, it was time. They played this hype video to get everyone pumped up, and the crowd went absolutely bonkers. And then Goodell walked out. They booed this man so hard and with such passion, he actually had to address it. He said that there would be plenty of time to boo him later, and I may have been part of that crowd booing this man because Goodell could go jump off a bridge for all I care. I am not a fan. After the booing session, which happened pretty much every time he walked out there that night, all night long, it was time to finally get this party started the MVP way.
Okay, welcome to Kansas City to the 2023 NFL Draft. For the first time since we took the draft on the road, we get to celebrate the draft in the Super Bowl winning city with fans. As you can see, I have some friends on stage with me that you might recognize. They are Kansas City natives and love this community. And Heidi Gardner.
Hey, Kansas City, I'm so happy to be here. It is my honor to bring to the stage right now Chiefs legends Dante Hall and Will Shields.
All right, Kansas City. I want to hear you. I get the distinct pleasure of welcoming two people you might recognize. Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs Kingdom, can I hear you out there? All right, Kansas City, it's time to get this show started.
We're not even on the
The
clock.
2023 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Oh, yeah.
Carolina Panthers are on the clock.
And with that, the Panthers were finally on the clock. The NFL draft was officially underway. I recorded pretty much everything from the first few picks. I got some assorted footage of various other teams for friends who had asked me to get some footage. So if you're interested in any of the footage I got that day or of the draft, let me know. I may or may not have something for your team from my perspective. I did not record the entire first round because it took forever, and that would have been a lot to record. So the following footage will be from some of the first few picks, so you can either go ahead and give it a watch or skip ahead. It is totally up to you.
2023 NFL Draft. Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young. With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select CJ Stroud.
The draft was full of some wild trades, including Houston trading to get back-to-back picks in the top 3.
The Arizona Cardinals have traded the third pick to the Houston Texans. With the third pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Will Anderson Jr. Select Anthony Richardson. With the fifth pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Taylor Witherspoon. Illinois.
Now, eventually, the Eagles picked, and As a Chiefs fan, why am I addressing this? Well, besides having some friends who were very interested in this and us beating them in the Super Bowl, the Eagles ended up with 2 first-round picks, both of which were used to select national championship Georgia Bulldogs. And as many of you know, I am also a Georgia Bulldogs fan and have been since high school. Given the fact that the Eagles continue to draft my Georgia Dogs, some of my favorite players, it looks like I might have to jump ship. Woo! Eagles, baby! Let's go, Philly! Philadelphia Bulldogs! Let's go! Philly owns the NFC! All right. Obviously, that isn't happening. I have been a Chiefs fan my entire life. I will continue to be a diehard Chiefs fan until I'm dead. But given the fact that Philly likes to draft my Georgia Bulldogs,
With the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, Georgia.
With the 30th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Nolan Smith, linebacker, Georgia.
I may actually have to watch some of their games this year, maybe root for them in the NFC. And speaking of the Eagles, Donna Kelsey was there, a shout out Mama Kelsey, and Jason Kelsey was also there as well. And this is what happened.
He shaved his head, he wore a diaper, it was the lost pet. How did it feel to be a baby again?
It felt really good. I mean, I think babies are probably got least worries in the world, really no concerns. I know my kids sure love being babies. It was nice to finally get back out there. And this time I have a beard. I think I look much better in a beard.
Yeah, beard.
You know what?
Interesting thing. No.
I can't say no to this. How about that?
Jason Kelsey, Kansas City's favorite Philadelphia Eagles, everybody.
Now, speaking of other players who were there that night, I mentioned earlier that I got an autograph from someone. Any guesses to who that might be? It was the NFL receiving touchdown leader from 2010, Pro Bowl and second team All-Pro selection, 7-year Kansas City Chief, Dwayne freaking Bowe. I remember watching this dude play. I always enjoyed watching him play. He came out and moved from the left side of the crowd to the right side of the crowd, signing as many things as he could, taking pictures with fans, and just generally engaging with the crowd. It was amazing. No other NFL players did that night. Eventually, he got to me and signed my Red Friday flag, which made my night. Thank you, Dwayne Bowe. But finally, the night was about to come to a close. It was time. Kansas City was on the clock. The climax for the entire evening was finally here. All of my draft crushes for the first round gone. Who were they gonna pick? No one wanted to trade with such a strong Super Bowl championship team, so we hung on till 31. Who was Veach and company gonna pick? Whoever it was, in Veach we trust.
Please welcome Chairman and CEO of your Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
How about it, Kansas City? With the 31st pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Felix.
Defensive end Felix Anudike Uzama. Yes, I practiced this beforehand. A local boy from Lee Summit who was a top 5 defensive end according to some analysts. I'm looking at you, Ryan, at Locked On Chiefs. You are the man. Best Chiefs podcast in the game. So this guy's from Lee Summit. He grew up a Chiefs fan, played for Kansas State, and then he gets drafted to play for his favorite team since childhood. The odds of this happening? Slim to none. Although he wasn't one of my draft crushes, I am absolutely happy with this pick. Can't wait to see where it goes. After all of that, I was out of there. Fall Out Boy was gonna be performing, but my knees were shot. My back was shot. I was in so much pain, and I was dying of thirst. So I took off, made the long ass trek back to my truck. My less than smart self didn't go buy a bottle of water before I made this trek, so the journey was definitely an interesting one. However, I did make it back, and I will leave you with a couple of clips to wrap up day 1 before we head into day 2, which won't nearly be as long. Also, all of my friends that were supposed to meet up with me that day didn't get there in time, so where I was standing was at max capacity, and so I had to make friends while I was standing there. Shout out to all the Detroit fans, Eric and the gang, who I hung out with for a good portion of the draft, as well as the KC fan and Panthers fan Stefan, who were super cool, who were new friends of mine that I made. So yeah, it was a great day. I regret nothing, and yeah, I'll leave you guys with this.
All right, well, okay, now, just got back to my truck after like a 20-minute walk. I'm absolutely exhausted, but you know what? You only live once, so I'll get back at you, but I had a blast. It was phenomenal. I'll remember this forever. It was awesome, and I would do it 1,000 times over. All right, we'll catch you. We'll catch you at some time in the future. I need another drink.
All right, so yesterday was absolutely amazing. I am sore as hell today. I can tell my voice wants to go, but we're gonna go see what we get into today. Gonna go have some lunch and then head on down to the draft. So I'm gonna try waiting some lines to do some things today. Definitely won't be up front. I don't care about that anymore. Just gonna have a relaxing day and hope we don't get rained out. Here we go. So we went to Pig Witch for lunch. It was on Guy Fieri's show, and he brought Andy Reid on. We had to go grab that before we went down there. I had the Big Pig sandwich. It was absolutely delicious, and I highly recommend you check this place out next time you're in town. So day 2 was here. I actually arrived with my group of friends this time, and today's plan was to stand in line for all the things that we didn't do the day before. After that, we'd head on down, grab our spots, and enjoy day 2 of the draft. So we started with the gallery, which displayed lockers full of gear from a player representing every team, lined up by division. They had these rhinestone helmets that were absolutely awesome. I did get video clips of every single locker, so if your team didn't make it into the video and you'd like to check it out, shoot me a message, I'll hook you up. And finally, they had a Super Bowl ring display, and they had a ring from every single Super Bowl. Now, whatever setup that they had was causing a lot of banding on my camera. I was planning on getting a video clip showing like one of every single ring. Didn't work out. But what I do have are pictures of 2 of the best rings from 2 of the best Super Bowls of all time. Lynn Dawson's Super Bowl 4 ring, check that bad boy out. And Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl 54 ring. That thing is a beauty. And of course, the most recent Super Bowl ring has yet to be released, so it wasn't there. Afterwards, we took a break at the hydration station. I actually used my water bottle that day a lot, and Dante Hall was signing autographs, but we really didn't want to wait in line for that as there were still some other things we wanted to do, and we wanted to get a pretty good spot for the draft. So we went on, did a few other things, and made our way down to the Lombardi Trophy photo op. Oh, and we also spotted MVS as well. At the Lombardi photo op, there were 2 lines. You could either get in a shorter line and get a picture with either the Super Bowl 4 trophy or the Super Bowl 54 trophy, or you could stand in the longer line and get a picture with the most recent Super Bowl trophy. So we stood in line for the most recent Super Bowl trophy because why not? It was the most recent one, and we beat the Eagles, so it was kind of fun. It was awesome being so up close and personal with the trophy. It's really cool to see in person. After that, we walked around and checked some things out that I had checked out the day before, but since the day was a little chillier and with the chance of rain, there was a little less going on than the day before, but still plenty of people out there. And then finally, we made our way down to the draft area. We ended up grabbing a spot behind the fountain, pretty close to the center, and we were right behind a couple of the broadcast booths. One being for ESPN, where they had Eric Stonestreet on later on. We definitely got on TV in the background of that segment because we were standing next to an absolute legend. This guy had the most hilarious sign, and I think the only sign I saw that day. Here it is. The best part was he was actually a Raiders fan, so you really couldn't say much to him. Also, if anyone has footage of us in the background during that interview, hook me up. I'd love to see it. So we hung out while the second round took off. Everyone was wanting Kansas City to trade up in the worst of ways. Not just us, but other people in the crowd. However, we wanted it because we were tired, we were sore, and like I stated, the weather wasn't as nice as the day before. We were ready to go home, relax, and watch the rest of it from a comfortable couch. And finally, our wishes were granted.
All right, Kansas City, this one's for you. You know this one.
To announce the Kansas City Chiefs selection, please welcome a father-son duo, both drafted in round 1 by your Chiefs, NFL legends Ed and Brad Buddy.
The Detroit Lions have traded the 55th pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. With that pick in the 2002-3 draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Rashee Rice, wide receiver. Go Chiefs!
Kansas City traded up, and with the 55th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, Kansas City took Rashee Rice, wide receiver out of SMU, a complete stud. I cannot wait to see him get into Andy Reid's system and see how he develops over the next few seasons. So with that, my crew decided to roll on out of there, and my draft experience was coming to a close. I spent the good part of the first 2 days of the draft in front of Union Station in Kansas City, witnessing an incredibly fun draft that I will remember forever. Whether the draft picks Casey selected work out or not, I will never forget the experience I had or the memories that I made. Alright, this video has drug on long enough. It's definitely way longer than I expected, and I hope some of you actually made it here to the end. I can definitely be long-winded. But in closing, I'll state this. In life, opportunities will present themselves. Sometimes things that may never come around again. In spite of things that may be holding you back or that could be used as an excuse to not take advantage of those opportunities, don't let experiences pass you by. We only have so long on this ball of rock hurling through space, and we have to make the most of it. The experiences we have, the memories that we make with family and friends, those things can never be replaced. Make the most of the days that you have, and go Chiefs! Thank you all for checking out this video. I appreciate every single one of you. My name is Thundarius. This is Cyber Skull Media. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you want to. If not, I guess that means that you're probably a Raiders fan. And check out these last couple of clips I got for you that happened after the draft. That's all I got for you guys. Have a good one.
6 blocks to go to get home uphill. So instead of walking, we're taking an Uber. All the way up there. You're financing this exhibition.
0 regrets.
0.
Yeah, by the time we got to this last little hill right here, I would have been dead.
I'm telling you, my foot would have been worn down to a nub, like I wouldn't have toes anymore.
This last little climb right here would have just
It would have been
done
awful.
them all. He'd have gave the keys and said, come pick me up at the bottom of this hill.
I can't have a heart attack. I got kids, man.
You could just stop at that stop sign right there. We're in the building on the right.
Yeah, there's no uphill.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
All right, I had to do one last thing before I left Kansas City. In order to honor the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, I had to get some Whataburger. Now, I may have had Whataburger once or twice back in the day as a child, but I don't remember. So we're going to give it a go right here before I hit the road. We've got some fancy ketchup, which is Patrick Mahomes' favorite. We got some spicy ketchup, some fries, and a sweet and spicy burger. Guess we'll try the fries first. I'll have some fancy ketchup. And since you know we like to eat spicy stuff, even though I doubt this will be spicy, let's try the spicy ketchup. Not bad. Not bad. I like it. Before you get too annoyed, let me try this big greasy burger. See what it tastes like. Well, that was delicious. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this on the way home. Thank you, Patrick Mahomes, for bringing these to Kansas City. I'm going to wash it down with a big-ass cherry Coke. I'll see you guys on the other side.